Stop. Listen to this. Because what you're about to hear will make you believe that sometimes the most dangerous decisions are the ones that save your life. Her name is Elena. She is 28 years old. She has been married for 5 years. And for 5 of those years, Elena has been living in hell. Elena's husband's name is Marcus. Marcus is charming on the surface. Marcus is successful. Marcus is handsome. Marcus is everything that Elena's family said was perfect for her. But behind closed doors, Marcus is a monster. Marcus controls everything about Elena's life. Marcus decides what Elena wears. Marcus decides who Elena can see. Marcus decides what Elena can eat. Marcus controls Elena's money. Marcus controls Elena's phone. Marcus controls Elena's body. And Marcus hurts Elena. Marcus hits Elena. Marcus screams at Elena. Marcus tells Elena that she is worthless, that she is ugly, that nobody would ever want her, that she should be grateful that Marcus even looks at her. Elena has tried to leave. Elena has tried multiple times. But every time Elena tries to leave, Marcus finds her. Every time Elena tries to escape, Marcus brings her back. And every time Elena goes back, Marcus hurts her worse. Elena has bruises on her body. Elena has scars on her soul. Elena has convinced herself that she will never escape. Elena has convinced herself that she will die in this marriage. Until one night, Elena makes a decision that will change everything. Elena is at a charity gala. Elena is there because Marcus made her go. Elena is there because Marcus wanted to show off his beautiful wife. Elena is wearing a dress that Marcus chose. Elena is wearing makeup that Marcus approved. And then Elena sees him. His name is James. He is 35 years old. He is a billionaire. He is one of the most powerful men in the country. James is at the gala alone. James is not looking for a relationship. James is not even interested in meeting women. But then James sees Elena. And James knows immediately that something is wrong. James sees the way Elena flinches when Marcus touches her. James sees the fear in Elena's eyes. James sees a woman who is trapped. And James does something crazy. James does something that nobody expects. James does something that will change Elena's life forever. James approaches Elena. James tells her that he knows she's in danger. James tells her that he can help her escape. James tells her that if she leaves with him right now, she will never have to go back to Marcus. Elena is shocked. Elena doesn't know James. Elena has never met James before. Elena thinks James is insane. But Elena is also desperate. Elena is also terrified. Elena is also at the end of her rope. And Elena makes a decision. Elena leaves with James. They drive through the night. They drive to a different state. They drive to a place where Marcus can't find them. And when they arrive at their destination, James does something even crazier. James proposes to Elena. James tells Elena that if they get married, Elena will have legal protection. James tells Elena that if they get married, Elena's name will change. James tells Elena that if they get married, Marcus will have a much harder time finding her. And Elena says yes. Elena marries James. Elena marries a billionaire stranger overnight. But here's the thing nobody expects. What starts as a marriage of convenience becomes something real. What starts as an escape becomes a love story. What starts as Elena running from hell becomes Elena building heaven. And by the end, you won't believe what happens. By the end, you'll understand that sometimes the most radical acts of self-preservation are also the most romantic. By the end, you'll believe that miracles are real and that sometimes they come in the form of a stranger who saves your life. This is a story about escaping abuse. This is a story about finding unexpected love. This is a story about building a new life from the ashes of an old one. This is a story about what happens when someone chooses you completely, asks nothing in return, and asks only that you learn to believe that you deserve to be loved. If you've ever been in an abusive relationship, if you've ever wondered if you could escape, if you've ever thought about starting over, this story is for you. If you've ever wondered what true love looks like, if you've ever wondered what it means for someone to save your life, if you've ever wondered if good people still exist, this story will show you. Rate this story from 0 to 10. Tell me in the comments if you believe in second chances. Tell me if you think Elena made the right choice. Tell me if you believe that love can heal trauma. But most importantly, tell me this. Would you have the courage to leave? Would you have the faith to trust a stranger? Would you have the hope to believe that life could be different? Let's find out what Elena discovered about herself, about love, and about what it means to be truly free. Elena didn't know she was in a trap when she got married. Elena thought she was marrying the man of her dreams. Elena met Marcus at a bar 5 years ago. Elena was 23 years old. Elena was working as a graphic designer. Elena was independent and ambitious and hopeful about her future. Marcus approached Elena. Marcus was charming. Marcus was confident. Marcus was successful. Marcus told Elena that she was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Marcus told Elena that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. Elena fell in love. Elena fell hard. Elena was completely taken in by Marcus's charm and his attention and his promises of a perfect life. They got married within a year. Elena was so happy. Elena thought she had found her person. Elena thought she had found the life she had always dreamed about. But within weeks of the wedding, Marcus changed. Marcus started to criticize Elena. Marcus said that Elena's clothes were too revealing. Marcus said that Elena's makeup was too heavy. Marcus said that Elena should quit her job and stay home. Marcus said that Elena should be grateful that he was providing for her. Elena tried to be the woman that Marcus wanted. Elena stopped wearing certain clothes. Elena quit her job. Elena became dependent on Marcus for everything. And then Marcus started to hurt Elena. The first time was subtle. Marcus grabbed Elena's arm too hard. Marcus said it was an accident. Elena believed him. The second time, Marcus pushed Elena against a wall. Marcus said that Elena had disrespected him. Marcus said that Elena deserved it. And then it got worse. Marcus hit Elena. Marcus choked Elena. Marcus raped Elena. Marcus hurt Elena in ways that are too painful to describe. And Marcus told Elena that it was her fault. Marcus said that Elena provoked him. Marcus said that Elena deserved it. Marcus said that if Elena was a better wife, Marcus wouldn't have to hurt her. Elena tried to leave. Elena packed a bag. Elena tried to escape. But Marcus found her. Marcus tracked her down. Marcus brought her back home. And when Marcus brought her back, Marcus hurt her worse than he had ever hurt her before. Elena tried to call the police. But Marcus told her that the police wouldn't believe her. Marcus told her that his father was a lawyer. Marcus told her that if Elena tried to leave again, Marcus would take everything from her, including custody of any children they might have in the future. Elena tried to confide in her family. But Marcus had isolated Elena from her family. Marcus had convinced Elena's family that Elena was lying, that Elena was unstable, that Elena was trying to manipulate them. Elena tried to get help. But Marcus controlled Elena's phone, so Elena couldn't call anyone. Marcus controlled Elena's money, so Elena couldn't afford to go anywhere. Marcus controlled Elena's life so completely that Elena couldn't see a way out. Elena lived in fear. Elena lived in pain. Elena lived in a nightmare. And Elena had almost given up. Elena had almost accepted that this was her life. Elena had almost stopped hoping that things could be different. Until the night of the charity gala. Marcus took Elena to the charity gala. Marcus wanted to show off his beautiful wife. Marcus wanted everyone to see that he had a perfect marriage. Marcus wanted everyone to believe that he was a good man. So Marcus dressed Elena up. Marcus put Elena in a tight red dress that he had chosen. Marcus did Elena's makeup the way he liked it. Marcus told Elena that she would smile and be charming and make him look good. And Elena did. Elena smiled. Elena was charming. Elena was the perfect accessory to Marcus's power and success. Elena was standing alone, waiting for Marcus to finish talking to his business associates, when someone approached her. "I know this is going to sound crazy," a man said, "but I need you to listen to me very carefully." Elena looked up. The man was tall and handsome and wore an expensive suit. The man was James. You're in danger, James said quietly. I can see it. The way he touches you. The fear in your eyes. You're in danger. Elena was shocked. Elena looked around to see if anyone else was hearing this. Elena was terrified that Marcus would see them talking. My name is James, he continued. I'm going to give you my number. If you want to leave, call me. I will help you. No questions asked. I will help you escape. Elena took the number. Elena didn't believe that James could actually help. Elena didn't believe that anyone could actually save her. But Elena kept the number. Elena hid the number in her shoe. 2 weeks later, Marcus hurt Elena worse than he had ever hurt her before. Marcus broke Elena's rib. Marcus fractured Elena's arm. Elena was sitting in their house, bleeding and broken, and Elena realized, if she didn't leave now, she would die. Elena called James. James picked up immediately. James didn't ask questions. James said, "Where are you? I'm coming to get you." James arrived 30 minutes later. James helped Elena into his car. James drove away from Marcus's house. And Elena never looked back. They drove through the night. They drove to a different state. They drove for 8 hours until they arrived at a small town that Elena had never heard of before. And when they arrived, James took Elena to a small courthouse. I know this is crazy, James said, but I need you to marry me. If we're married, Marcus can't find you as easily. If we're married, your name changes. If we're married, I have legal standing to protect you. Elena was delirious. Elena was in pain. Elena was exhausted. Elena should have said no. Elena should have said that she needed time to process. Elena should have said that she couldn't marry a stranger. But Elena had been hearing no for 5 years. Elena had been hearing that her thoughts didn't matter. Elena had been hearing that she didn't have choices. And now Elena said yes. Elena married James. Elena became Elena Williams instead of Elena Marcus. And for the first time in 5 years, Elena felt safe. James took Elena to his house. James's house was enormous and beautiful and quiet and safe. James gave Elena a room of her own. James told Elena that she could lock the door whenever she wanted. James told Elena that she was safe. James told Elena that Marcus couldn't hurt her anymore. For the first week, Elena didn't leave her room. Elena was traumatized. Elena was broken. Elena was terrified that Marcus would find her. But James was patient. James brought Elena meals. James sat outside her door and talked to her. James didn't ask anything of Elena. James just wanted Elena to feel safe. Slowly, Elena began to come out of her room. Slowly, Elena began to believe that she was actually safe. Slowly, Elena began to heal. James helped Elena get therapy. James helped Elena get medical treatment for her injuries. James helped Elena navigate the legal system to protect herself from Marcus. And James did something else. James helped Elena rediscover who Elena was. For 5 years, Elena had been a prisoner. For 5 years, Elena had forgotten her own dreams, her own thoughts, her own personality. For 5 years, Elena had existed only to serve Marcus. But with James, Elena began to remember. Elena remembered that she loved art. Elena remembered that she had wanted to be a graphic designer. Elena remembered that she was intelligent and creative and capable. James gave Elena a studio. James told Elena to paint. James told Elena to create. James told Elena that her art was beautiful. And Elena began to paint. Elena painted her trauma. Elena painted her escape. Elena painted her fear and her hope and her journey from darkness to light. And as Elena painted, Elena began to heal. 3 months after the wedding, James asked Elena a question. Do you regret marrying me? Elena thought about this. Elena thought about how James had saved her life. Elena thought about how James asked nothing of her except that she take care of herself. Elena thought about how James believed in her when she didn't believe in herself. No, Elena said. I don't regret it. I'm glad, James said. Because I have something I want to tell you. I want you to know that I love you. Not because you're my wife. Not because of the marriage, but because you're you. You're strong and you're brave and you're beautiful and I love you." Elena started to cry. Elena had never been told that she was loved for just being herself. Elena had never been told that she was beautiful without conditions. Elena had never been told that her existence was enough. "I love you too," Elena said. And it was true. Elena had fallen in love with James. Elena had fallen in love with someone who had asked nothing of her except that she survive. Elena had fallen in love with someone who believed in her. 8 months after Elena escaped, Marcus found her. Marcus tracked Elena down through private investigators. Marcus found out that Elena had married someone else. Marcus found out where Elena was living. And Marcus showed up. James was home when Marcus arrived. James answered the door. And Marcus told James that Elena was his wife. Marcus told James that Elena belonged to him. Marcus told James that Marcus was taking Elena back. James said, "Elena is not your wife anymore. Elena is my wife. And Elena will never go back to you." Marcus tried to force his way into the house. Marcus tried to threaten James. Marcus tried to intimidate James. But James was not intimidated. James had hired security. James had prepared for this moment. James called the police. The police arrested Marcus. The police took a statement from Elena. Elena told the police everything. Elena told them about the abuse. Elena told them about the violence. Elena told them about 5 years of torture. And Marcus was charged. Marcus was convicted. Marcus was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Elena was finally free to escape to forever. Extended Aftermath and Legacy 25 minutes of extended content. Deep dive into healing, hope, and transformation. 1 year after escaping Marcus, Elena and James renewed their vows. But this wasn't just a ceremony. This was a statement. This was a declaration. This was Elena standing up and saying, "I survived. I healed. I chose this." This time it was a real wedding. Not a panicked escape disguised as marriage. Not a legal maneuver to ensure safety. But a genuine celebration of love. This time, it was a celebration where Elena was choosing James freely, with a clear mind and a healed heart. Elena's family was there. Elena's family had finally believed her. It had taken time. It had taken Elena telling her story over and over. It had taken Elena showing them the hospital records, the photographs of her injuries, the documentation of her abuse. But eventually, Elena's family had understood what she had been through. Elena's mother cried when she saw Elena in her wedding dress. Elena's mother said, "I'm so sorry I didn't believe you sooner. I'm so sorry I let you suffer." Elena hugged her mother and said, "I'm alive. I'm here. That's what matters." Elena's father walked her down the aisle for the second time. This time, Elena's father understood the weight of that gesture. This time, Elena's father was passing his daughter to a man who had literally saved her life. This time, Elena's father was grateful beyond words. And when Elena and James exchanged vows, when they said they wanted to spend their lives together, when they kissed in front of everyone, the entire chapel erupted in applause because everyone in that room understood what they were witnessing. They were witnessing a resurrection. They were witnessing someone who had been buried alive in abuse stand up and choose life. They were witnessing someone who had been told she was worthless declare her own worth. Elena was 29 years old. Elena had been through things that would have broken most people. Elena had survived things that most people couldn't even imagine surviving. And yet Elena was standing here, whole and real and alive. Elena was married to James. Elena had a studio where she painted. Elena had converted an entire wing of James's house into her art space. Elena painted every day. Elena painted her fear and her escape and her healing. Elena's paintings sold for thousands of dollars at galleries. Elena's art was powerful and raw and absolutely stunning. Elena had therapy twice a week. Elena was processing her trauma. Elena was learning to trust. Elena was learning to love. Elena was learning to believe that she deserved good things. Elena's therapist told her, You're one of the strongest people I've ever worked with. Most people who experience what you experienced don't survive. The fact that you not only survived but thrived, that's extraordinary. Elena had a life that was beautiful and safe and real. Elena woke up in a home where she wasn't afraid. Elena went to sleep without wondering if that would be her last night. Elena had relationships with people who loved her. Elena had work that fulfilled her. Elena had a future that stretched before her, full of possibility. Elena told her story publicly. Elena went on the news. Elena sat in front of cameras and told millions of people about her experience in an abusive relationship. Elena talked about the control. Elena talked about the violence. Elena talked about the psychological manipulation. Elena talked about how she almost didn't survive. And Elena talked about how she escaped. Elena talked about the night at the charity gala. Elena talked about James approaching her. Elena talked about the decision to leave. Elena talked about marrying a stranger. Elena talked about the 8 months of hiding while James protected her. Elena talked about Marcus being arrested and convicted. And Elena talked about James. Elena talked about how he asked nothing of her. Elena talked about how he believed in her. Elena talked about how his love helped her heal. Elena talked about how she fell in love with someone who had saved her life. When Elena told her story, women started reaching out. Women started telling Elena their own stories. Women started saying, "I'm in the situation you were in. I don't know how to escape. Can you help me?" And Elena realized something profound. Her pain had purpose. Elena's trauma had meaning. Elena's survival could save other people. Elena's story gave hope to women who were trapped. Elena's story showed them that escape was possible. Elena's story showed them that life after abuse was possible. Elena's story showed them that someone who had been broken could become whole again. Elena created an organization. Elena called it Freedom Rising. Freedom Rising was dedicated to helping women escape abusive relationships. Freedom Rising provided safe houses. Freedom Rising provided legal assistance. Freedom Rising provided therapy. Freedom Rising provided financial support. Freedom Rising provided community and connection to women who were trying to escape the same nightmare that Elena had escaped. Elena ran the organization herself. Elena was the executive director. Elena was the face of the organization. Elena was the person who met with women who were trying to escape. Elena was the person who understood what they were going through because she had lived it. Elena used her experience and her resources to help thousands of women. Elena's organization helped 5,000 women in the first year, 10,000 women in the second year, 20,000 women by the fifth year. Elena received letters from women whose lives had been saved by her organization. Elena received photographs of women who had escaped and were building new lives. Elena received stories of triumph and survival and transformation. One woman wrote, "You saved my life. I don't know if I would have had the courage to leave if I hadn't read your story. I don't know if I would have believed that a better life was possible if I hadn't seen what you became. Thank you for showing me that I could be free." Another woman wrote, "Your organization gave me legal help when nobody else would. Your organization gave me a safe place to sleep when I had nowhere else to go. Your organization believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. You gave me my life back." Elena built a legacy from her trauma. Elena transformed her pain into purpose. Elena took the worst thing that had ever happened to her and used it to help thousands of other people avoid the same fate. And James supported Elena completely. James believed in Elena's mission with his whole heart. James helped Elena fund the organization. James donated millions of dollars to Freedom Rising. James sat on the board of directors. James used his business expertise to help Elena scale the organization. But more importantly, James stood beside Elena as she healed and grew and became the woman she was meant to be. James didn't try to rescue Elena. Elena had already rescued herself. James just supported Elena's mission to rescue others. James understood something fundamental. Elena didn't love him because he saved her. Elena loved him because he chose to keep showing up. Elena loved him because he was patient while she healed. Elena loved him because he believed in her. Elena loved him because he stood beside her as she became her true self. One day, James told Elena, "I need you to know something. When I saw you at that charity gala, I didn't save you because I expected anything in return. I saved you because it was the right thing to do. But I'm grateful every single day that you chose to stay with me. I'm grateful that you let me be part of your journey. I'm grateful that you love me." Elena said, "You didn't just save my life. You showed me that I deserved to be saved. You showed me that good people exist. You showed me that love could be patient and kind and real. You showed me that I could have a life I actually wanted. You didn't just save my life. You helped me build a life worth living." So here's what I want you to understand about Elena's story. And I need you to really hear this because this is the part that matters most. If you are in an abusive relationship, understand this. You can escape. It might seem impossible. It might seem like your abuser is too powerful. It might seem like you're too trapped. It might seem like your abuser knows where you are and will find you no matter what you do. It might seem like escape is a fantasy that only happens to other people. But you can escape. Escape is possible. Freedom is possible. A life after abuse is possible. And understand this. Your escape might look crazy to other people. Your escape might require you to make radical decisions. Your escape might require you to do something that defies all logic and reason. Your escape might require you to trust someone you just met. Your escape might require you to leave everything behind. Elena married a stranger overnight. Elena did something that nobody would recommend. Elena did something that violated every piece of advice about taking time and being careful and moving slowly. Elena did something insane. But Elena did it because staying was more dangerous than leaving. Elena did it because sometimes the most important decisions are the ones that seem the most crazy. Elena did it because sometimes survival requires making choices that don't make sense to people who haven't lived your reality. And here's the critical part. Elena's decision worked out. But that doesn't mean that every crazy decision will work out. That doesn't mean that every desperate escape will lead to a billionaire who loves you and transforms your life. What I want you to understand is this. If you are in danger, you need to escape. You need to call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. You need to reach out to a shelter. You need to contact local authorities. You need to create a safety plan. You need to do whatever it takes to get out of danger. But don't wait for a stranger to save you. Don't wait for a billionaire to appear. Don't wait for someone else to rescue you. Rescue yourself. Save your own life. Because the most powerful moment in your escape will be when you realize that you saved yourself. When you realize that you were strong enough. When you realize that you were brave enough. If you are like James, if you see someone in danger, if you see someone being hurt, if you see someone whose eyes tell the story of 1,000 sleepless nights, if you see someone whose smile is fake and whose fear is real, understand this. You can help. You can be the person who changes someone's life. But understand this also. Your help can't be about saving someone so that they'll love you. Your help can't be about enabling someone to be dependent on you. Your help can't be about making yourself feel like a hero. Your help has to be about genuinely wanting someone to be free. Your help has to be about asking nothing in return. Your help has to be about believing in someone even when they don't believe in themselves. Your help has to be about supporting their journey to freedom, not making their freedom dependent on your involvement. James saved Elena. But James also let Elena save herself. James provided resources. James provided safety. James provided legal protection. But Elena did the actual work of healing. Elena did the actual work of becoming whole again. Elena did the actual work of transforming her pain into purpose. And that's what makes real love different from possession disguised as love. Real love sets people free. Real love asks nothing. Real love celebrates when the person you love becomes more than you could ever be. Here's the most important thing. Love isn't always about grand romantic gestures. Love isn't about someone solving all your problems. Love isn't about someone completing you. Love is about showing up. Love is about being patient while someone heals. Love is about asking nothing and giving everything. Love is about believing in someone even when they don't believe in themselves. Elena and James created a beautiful love story. But it wasn't beautiful because they got married overnight. It wasn't beautiful because James was a billionaire who could give Elena anything money could buy. It wasn't beautiful because Elena escaped her abuser and lived happily ever after. It was beautiful because they healed together. It was beautiful because James asked nothing of Elena except that she survive. It was beautiful because Elena allowed herself to be loved. It was beautiful because they built something real from something broken. If you're in an abusive relationship, please reach out for help. There are resources. There are people who can help. You don't have to suffer alone. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. You can call. You can text. You can chat online. You can reach out in whatever way feels safest for you. There are shelters. There are lawyers. There are therapists. There are people whose entire job is to help people like you escape the nightmare you're living. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to be free. You deserve to have a life where you're not afraid. You deserve to be loved the way James loves Elena, with patience and belief and no conditions. And if you see someone in danger, please speak up. Please offer help. Please be the person who changes their life. Not by saving them, but by offering resources and support and belief in their ability to save themselves. Because miracles aren't magical. Miracles aren't supernatural events that happen to other people. Miracles are what happen when one person decides to help another person escape their darkness. Miracles are what happen when someone says, "I see you. I believe in you. I will support you." Elena and James created a miracle. They didn't create it through grand gestures or billionaire money or overnight marriages. They created it through patience, through belief, through genuine love that asked nothing and gave everything. And you can create that miracle too. You can be the Elena who survives and heals and transforms pain into purpose. Or you can be the James who sees someone in danger and offers help without expecting anything in return. Either way, you have the power to create miracles. You have the power to change lives. You have the power to help someone escape their darkness and build their own light. I'll see you next time.